Welcome to The Culture. We rest at the pulse of the community, providing all things news, music, fashion, events, and everything that we talk about in between. It's a lifestyle. We are the culture.
Welcome to The Culture. We are live here. It is a Monday morning, and we're here also with Dr. Steve Gallen, who's the vice chair for Miami-Dade County Public Schools. And we are thankful for him to join us for this happening now moment. Miami-Dade County Public Schools, as many parents know, were supposed to reopen this morning or open for the 2020-2021 school year, and it has not gone as expected, I guess you would say. Dr. Gallen, I'm sure you also have been hearing from parents and teachers and getting the phone calls as to what is going on. Your system is down, kids can't log in, teachers cannot log in, they can't log in on school grounds. What are we to do? I have one kid who's on and the other one who still cannot get on.
Good morning, Jessica. Once again, I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak to our community, to speak with our stakeholders, and to provide a platform of information, resolution, and resolve as it relates to issues pertaining to our community, but more specifically in my role as the Vice Chair and District 1 representative for the Miami-Dade County Public Schools on the education of our children. You're absolutely correct. This is a Monday morning that has been less than stellar. We've had some tremendous challenges going into Monday morning that we anticipated with respect to the district's transition to the K through 12 platform, the untimely and lack of training of our teachers in a very brief period of time. And to make matters worse, this morning, the Miami-Dade County Public Schools, as a district, experienced tremendous challenges with our technology. The portal, the parent portal, the entire district system, quite frankly, was down this morning, and that precluded parents and teachers and educators from not only accessing our system, but actually our employees who work in various district offices. For example, myself, I could not access my email through the portal as well. The portal is an access point for instruction as we become accustomed to distance learning, but the portal is also the access point for all business Miami-Dade County Public Schools, from email to calendars to purchasing. Anything that's done online is done through www.dadeschools.net. So once that goes down, we are really facing a tremendous challenge. And that challenge was exacerbated this morning when we had over 275,000 children, and including their parents and families, with bated breath waiting for the first day of school, which we know would be virtual, but which we prayed, hoped, and I felt we should have prepared for, not being as challenging and as problematic as it has been this morning.
Yes, it has been very challenging. I know I've been receiving calls from parents who are actually at work and thinking that it may be something wrong with their personal internet connection as to why their child was not able to get on. I was able to let them know, no, it's not your personal internet. This is a system-wide problem that is going on where the connectivity for Miami-Dade County Public Schools portal, dadeschools.net, was down, and you weren't able to even access. So it is a challenge for those parents who aren't with their children because they just don't know if their child is doing something that they should not be doing. But we were trying to continue to put out those alerts, just letting them know, no, here's what the school system is saying. That the portal is down. But I do believe that there are a few workarounds to that. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely. Our system has some challenges, but through the hard work, dedication, and innovation, and resolve of our teachers and our school leaders, I was able to get information relative to how parents can navigate a system to enter into the K through 12 platform while the district system is down. and that is through www.clever.com. And there you have an opportunity to sign in for your student, identify your child's school, utilize the same login information that you would through the portal, and voila, you will have access to his or her classes. But that is just half of the challenge. One of the things we were committed to is that our children are not simply going to go online and navigate individually through coursework. That interaction with our teachers who represent the backbone of education was critically important. So that level of engagement will continue through Zoom and other interactive mediums. So if you have not had an opportunity to get your child's teacher's Zoom access information, that is something that you should have access to, whether it's Zoom, whether it's Google Classroom, whatever platform your child's teacher is going to use to ensure that interaction. That information should be readily available, and you should be accessing that information in real time. So we have two folds. We have the K through 12 platform, which has the courses and the related lessons, but you also have the interactive nature of the platforms that allow your child to interact directly with his or her teacher.
Yes, I do know that some students over at Coral Reef Senior High School, those teachers have reached out to parents. They've sent emails, and some of them are actually in Zoom as we speak and having coursework. There are some other classes at Pinecrest Elementary who are also having Zoom classes as we speak, just due to the fact that they weren't able to access the portal. But that also means that their parents are in communication, like you always stress, with the school and with the teacher to understand and be nimble to the immediate changes that occur so that their child can continue to learn. Dr. Gallen, can you please give us that website again and say it slow?
www.clever.com, Clever.com. And actually, I'm in a different setting in my home because, correct, Jessica, my daughter right now is on Zoom as we speak. She just got off of her lunch break at 11:30, and she's actually on Zoom in a different part of my home, interacting with her teacher and the full attendance of her classmates. So Zoom is active. Those interactive platforms should be active, but those things, again, should be directly accessed through the teachers at each respective school.
We have a comment that I'm going to read from Frank Valdez. He says, why such incompetence? Where is the accountability? We were told by our superintendent that they had a plan and this will work. Well, we are waiting. To Frank's point, we did spend, $15 million on this platform, and I do believe that it was provided to the district as a recommendation from the state. He's asking, where's the accountability?
Well, that was not a recommendation from the state. That was one of the options that was approved by the state. We had an opportunity to either go with one of the two options or none of the options at all. That was a determination that was made by the administration through the superintendent, through some policy provisions that allows him to make that selection through no bid process that was not approved by the board. So where people question the board's involvement in this particular selection, the board had no involvement in this particular selection. I want to be very, very clear. There is a policy provision under certain circumstances where orders relative to educational programming can be purchased. Obviously, there are questions relative to the due diligence, relative to the provisions of this particular component. And those questions will still be asked. And I, as a board member individually, will be seeking answers starting this coming Wednesday. So there is accountability relative to the role and responsibility of the superintendent and his staff for the day-to-day operations of the school district. But we as a board are also accountable to the taxpayers and to our constituents and to the stakeholders that will hold us accountable for making sure that we provide the necessary oversight for the outcomes that each and every one of us deserves for our children, our employees, and our community. So this story will continue. This work will continue until we make some determinations about not only opportunities for improvement and not to Monday morning quarterback, but to really have an opportunity to reflect on what happened, what didn't happen, and what should have happened, and by whom and when. So he's absolutely correct. There needs to be accountability across the board. We hold our custodians accountable, our teachers accountable, our principals accountable. Everyone needs to be held accountable relative to the current situation we're in. Mind you, I do understand that there are technology issues that do occur, but there are some things that could be anticipated as we prepare to transition into this very, very critical phase of our students' learning. So where we have done a very good job of response and correction, I would have liked to see a better job in anticipation and preparation.
Yes, yes. So there will be questions about accountability, Frank. There is a school board meeting on this Wednesday
The school board committee meeting will be taking place. The committee meeting
that everyone can tune into and see live in real time. If you have additional comments or questions, you can pose those. They can provide public comment in the committee.
Well, at the school board meeting, you can for public comments, not at the committee meeting.
Okay.
But we have been receiving feedback from parents, from employees. So outside of a meeting, we're here to respond. We're here to receive, and we want to hear from the people that we represent and those who represent our children, which are our number one priority.
Okay. So as we know now, there is a workaround. You can go to www.clever.com and access your child's online portal from that route. Tomorrow, I believe it's on Tuesday and Thursday at the physical brick and mortar school, they will be distributing breakfast and lunch for those parents who would like to receive that, and they're doing it with a number of days. So Tuesday you would get X amount of days, and Thursday you would get X amount of days of lunch. Dr. Gallen, any closing thoughts? We've covered the workaround. We have discussed the fact that this will be a topic for discussion on Wednesday at your committee meeting. Any other closing thoughts that you have for our viewers here?
Start again, as I said, start with the communication at the school site level. But in this particular case, there is nothing that the school site could have done when you have a major challenge with district-wide technology issues. Although this is not unique to Miami-Dade County Public Schools, this has happened in districts throughout the state. But my question would have been relative to what initial preparation did we undertake to anticipate this particular issue. When we look at the volume that was going to be on our system this coming Monday, one would probably ask the question, did we test it? I understood that we have tested it, but I don't know to the extent that we tested it with the full capacity of employees, teachers, parents, staff, students, all at one time. So perhaps that could have been a dry run at maybe 50% on Thursday, 75% on Friday, and to the better extent, 100% on Saturday, Sunday. Nothing beats a fail but a try. But to the extent that we did not either anticipate or prepare for the likelihood of our system being overwhelmed as we enter into uncharted waters, I think that has been potentially a missed opportunity. But again, I'll be hard, but I'll be fair, and I'll give the benefit of the doubt until those questions are asked and those answers are provided. But I can assure you that those questions will be asked, at least by me. And I trust that my colleagues who have similar concerns, I can't speak for them, but they do represent various segments of this community, and they're equally concerned and equally committed to the education of our children, to the engagement of our parents, and to the fair and equitable treatment and support of our employees. We share that same ethos as the officials of the Miami-Dade County Public Schools. So again, hats off to our staff. They've been, great about response and correction. But there are some things that we do have to reflect upon, some decisions that have been made and were not made. And as the person indicated, we have to hold ourselves accountable at every level of this organization, and trust you, we will.
Thank you, Dr. Gallen. And parents, please be reminded that the system still is not up and running full. The workaround is to go to www.clever.com to log in from there to access your child's portal.
And Zoom. Make sure you have a means by which your child is able to access direct interaction with his or her teacher.
We have one more comment I want to read before we leave. Educators from Bonita Gordon. Educators are working hard to communicate with their students. We are using plan A, B, V, etc. Yes, Bonita, we know that you all are using every opportunity and every way to try to communicate with the children, and we appreciate you and all of the things that our educators are doing to try to get this going. We have another comment from LaWanda Davis Sim. She says, my daughter is a MDCPS student. System didn't work, but her had a second Zoom. Information was provided, and she's been in class since 9 a.m. this morning. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Yes, there are some children that are actually in the process of getting that one-on-one learning experience with their teacher, and that is great. That's great to hear. Thank you for sharing.
And that's great news. And that's what we're talking about relative to the platform being down, but the child has been in class since this morning. And that's tremendously positive. That's tremendously positive.
Yes, yes, it is. So
I'm still addressing. I'm getting a couple of questions myself.
oh, okay. Well, please address them live.
No, I'm okay. I'm back. I just wanted to make sure. So absolutely, we got the platform K through 12 for the content, but we also have the means by which parents should ensure the interaction, the direct engagement and interaction of their children with their child's teacher throughout the day. So in this particular case, this parent's child has been in class, in virtual class since this morning, and we're very, very happy about that.
Yes, we are. I am. I thought it was that no children were actually being able to be taught virtually, but it's good to know that there are occasions where there are students that are able to have the opportunity to have the one-on-one with their teacher. This is ongoing.
In the interaction with their classmates, we anticipated utilizing this time to not simply focus on the 3 R's of reading, writing, and arithmetic, but to provide an opportunity for our teachers to get to know students. And that's not atypical from an initial classroom experience. What did you do during the summer? How do you feel about the pandemic? How's your family? Who are you? What are your goals, dreams, and aspirations for this school year and beyond? Those are things that normally take place in a classroom at the beginning of the school year, but obviously we want to take a special emphasis as our children have gone through a very, very challenging time from March through June and continue to experience that with the pandemic still being in place and with Miami-Dade County having been at the epicenter. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. The data is giving us some hope as it relates to the positivity rates being reduced significantly. And we're hopeful and we're preparing, we're anticipating, and yes, I am praying that the conditions improve to the extent that our children can be in a physical classroom space and be able to experience education as it was intended to be. And that is face to face with our teachers who can look into their heads, look into their hearts, and pour into their spirits as it relates to the overall educational experience. So I'm looking forward to that based on the positivity rates, but we're going to be driven by science and data and not by politics.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good, as we should be. We should not be driven by politics or tricks.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gallen, for joining us. And this is ongoing. You're watching the picture, and we will be continuing to bring you information on this throughout the week. We appreciate you for joining. Say it again, Dr. Gallen.
I say thank you so much for providing, once again, this platform. And again, salute to our teachers who are on the front line of this work. Our teachers, our school leaders, and everyone who is putting their shoulder to the wheel. Having been a superintendent, I understand the tremendous pressure our superintendent is under, but that is what is called for when you're in leadership roles. You have the tremendous responsibility of shouldering these challenges, but we must shoulder these challenges together, and we must ensure accountability at every level of this school system.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We'll keep you in tune. It's another episode of The Culture. I'm Jessica Garrett Modkins, and we will continue to keep this story moving forward this week. We appreciate you for watching.
Thank you.
The Culture is produced and owned by Hip Rock Star Media and cannot be reproduced or broadcast without written consent by Jessica Garrett Modkins. All rights reserved 2020.